precio de seguir a Jesús puede ser muy alto a veces si queremos ponernos al tú por tú con Dios. Si queremos ponernos al tú por tú con Dios, va a ser un precio muy alto porque Dios siempre va a tener la razón. Dios siempre va a tener la razón. Why do you want to argue with God if He always is going to be the one that's always going to be right? You don't try to argue with God. You know what? Job tried. And you know what God said? Who are you to argue with me? I made everything. I'm the owner of everything. Yo soy el dueño de todo, le dijo el Señor a Job. No te pongas, dice, a preguntarme esas cosas. Dice, yo puedo hacer lo que yo quiera. Sin embargo, Job aceptó la soberanía de Dios, hermanos, y al último se dio cuenta de que él, aunque había sido un hombre recto, él iba a poder pagar ese precio. Él iba a poder pagar ese precio y lo pagó. Job pagó ese precio. Al principio como que subió a ese precio, pero después se conformó con que Dios era Dios y Job seguía siendo ¿quién? Seguía siendo Job. The price that you're going to pay, guys, it just depends on your disposition. Everybody's disposition. We got a disposition to follow the Lord. That's the price we're going to pay. Job, he tried to argue with God for a minute there, and God showed him who God was, and God showed him who Job was. And you know what? It still remains today. God is God, and we are only the children of God. Pero vamos a seguir a Jesús. ¿Cuál precio queremos pagar nosotros en esta noche? El precio que tenemos que pagar, hermanos, depende también del propósito que Dios tenga en nuestras vidas. You want to be part of that purpose that God has in your life? You want to be part of that game that God has for you? ¿Quieres estar en la jugada o adentro o fuera de la jugada? You want to be in it or you want to be outside of it? But remember, there's something attached to it. There's a price. And that price, we're going to see it in Abraham's life right now. Genesis 12, verse 1. Génesis 12, verso 1. ¿Qué hizo Abraham, hermanos? El seguir a Jesús demanda disposición, como dije hace rato. Disposición para dejar algo atrás. Siempre vamos a tener que disponer para dejar algo atrás. Porque somos ¿qué? Una nueva criatura, dice la palabra. We're a new creature. We're a new creation for God. So that means we got to leave something behind, right? If we want to be that new creation, we have to leave something behind. And that's a disposition we got to have to leave something behind. Look what Abram did. Verse 1. Now the Lord said to Abram, go out from your country and from your family and from your father's house into the land to which I will be your guide. Your version, that may be a little bit different, but it says the same thing. Dice, el Señor le dijo a Abraham, vete de tu tierra y de tu parentela y de la casa de tu padre a la tierra que yo te mostraré. Disposición para dejar algo atrás. How many of you have this disposition to leave something behind, guys? Are you willing to leave something behind? Because that's what God is asking. He wants to put something new in our lives. He wants to exchange what we have that's old, turn it into something new that He's going to put in your life, in your heart. Va a poner algo nuevo en nuestras vidas. Pero para poder poner algo nuevo en nuestras vidas tenemos que dejar ir aquello viejo. Tenemos que dejar ir aquel viejo hombre, como dice la palabra también. Es muy fácil que la popularidad, a veces por nuestra posición, por nuestra vida, donde nos lleva la vida, que la popularidad, que la fama tome la atención de Dios. Tome aquella atención que a Dios le pertenece. La fama, también muchas veces la seguridad que tenemos como hijos de Dios, a veces vamos por ahí triunfando, vamos teniendo muchas victorias y de repente, si no tenemos cuidado, nos va a agarrar desaprevenidos esa fama, esa popularidad y vamos a pensar que todo lo podemos nosotros. That's what's wrong with us sometimes. We just become so involved in these worldly things, and all of a sudden we forget that popularity that we're all of a sudden gaining, that fame, that sense of worth. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from anybody else. It comes from God. Todo viene de Dios. Sea popularidad, sea fama, sea reconocer, que lo hayan reconocido por algo, eso viene del Señor solamente. Y si no cuidamos lo que estamos viniendo a hacer, lo que estamos transformándonos, Satanás nos va a hacer caer en esa trampa. Satan is behind it all. That fame, that popularity, guys, it's one of Satan's traps. Now be careful. Be careful if you fall into it, because once you fall into it, it's going to be hard to get out of it. We have to learn to turn down a little bit of that popularity sometimes and turn it over to God. If there's something going on in your life that you don't agree with, and that you feel that God doesn't agree with, then you have to turn it over to the Lord and let Him handle it. Let Him handle it, because you can't handle it. I can't handle it. Those things take the attention that God should have. Those things take away that attention and put it onto something else. La atención que Dios debe tener en este momento, en cualquier momento de nuestras vidas, aquellas cosas que vienen del mundo, mis hermanos, se las llevan. ¿Y dónde queda la atención? ¿Dónde queda esos adoradores en espíritu y en verdad que Dios quiere? Where are those true worshipers that God is looking for? Are you one of them? Am I one of them? God is looking for true worshipers that worship in spirit and in truth. In spirit and in truth. That takes a little bit of effort. That takes a little price that we have to pay, guys. That's why our topic tonight is the price of following Jesus. Hay un precio que pagar. Hay un precio para venir a adorar y entregarnos a Dios totalmente y ser esos adoradores en espíritu y en verdad que Dios busca. No viene regalado, no viene en un paquete ahí bien adornado y que nomás tenemos que quitar el bonito. Tenemos que hacer a un lado aquellas cosas viejas, dejar aquello, disposición para dejar algo atrás y tomar lo nuevo que Dios nos ofrece. Santiago capítulo 4, verso 4. James 4, verse 4. Chapter 4 of James, verse 4. Santiago 4, 4. James 4, verse 4, towards the end of the Bible. Dice Santiago 4, 4. Dice, ¿o no sabéis? Dice, oh almas adúlteras, ¿no sabéis que la amistad del mundo es enemistad contra Dios? Cualquiera pues que quiera ser amigo del mundo se constituye enemigo de Dios. James 4, 4. O you who are false to God, do you not see that the friends of this world are not God's friends? Every man desiring to be a friend of this world makes himself a hater of God, an enemy of God. Who do you want to be? You want to be friends with God, or you want to be an enemy of God? There's a fine line. There's only white or black. There's no in between. And that's the price we have to pay, guys. You want to step over to the light, or you want to stay in the darkness? ¿Queremos estar en la luz o queremos quedarnos en la oscuridad? Dice, oh almas adúlteras, ¿no sabéis que la amistad del mundo es enemistad contra Dios? ¿Cuál es el problema aquí? What is the problem here? What is the issue at hand? It's not about just being what we are, guys. I don't know if you've heard that song lately that's come out on the radio. It's Christian radio. It's called The Motions. Do you want to go through the motions? Do you just want to go through the motions, or you just want to turn over yourself to God completely? Hay un canto que salió en inglés, no se llama Los Movimientos Solamente. Dice, yo no quiero hacer solo movimientos. Yo no quiero solamente andar por andar haciendo como una máquina. Se trata de ser para Dios o no ser para Dios. Y ya es tiempo que la iglesia, hermanos, en toda la tierra, en todas las partes del universo, nos demos cuenta, despiértemos que, dice, como dice la palabra aquí, dice la enemistad, o la amistad del mundo, dice, es enemistad contra Dios. The problem is the world we live in. The problem is everything that surrounds us. The problem is the place we live, the things that we accomplish, the things that we let come close to us, that we let take a hold of us and just take us apart, tear us apart, and take us away from God's reach. Aquellas son las cosas que el mundo nos presenta, que es muy fácil que nos quiten la atención que le debemos a Dios. Pero dice que la amistad con el mundo es enemistad contra Dios. Do we want to be enemies of God, or do we want to be friends of God?
Friends.
We sing that song, I am a friend of God. How many of you actually believe that I am a friend of God? ¿Cuántos queremos ser amigos de Dios? Dice, tú eres mi amigo fiel, yo soy tu amigo fiel. Dice, tú eres mi amigo fiel y tu amigo soy. Do we really want to be those faithful friends? Do you really want to be that friend of God? There's a price attached, guys. There's a price we must pay. Are we willing to turn ourselves over completely to the Lord and let Him take care of our lives?